Well, good morning, everyone. Let's chat Buffett's big weekend. Seana, you were on the ground in Omaha. We got to get some of your key takeaways here.
Yeah, Brad, it's a remarkable weekend. It's so much fun. You were able to speak with so many well-known investors, very influential investors here over the last several days. Also, I was able to speak with so many people who have been following Buffett for such a long time and very familiar with past investments and exactly what he was saying over the weekend, maybe what that could signal here going forward. So we have three takeaways, at least my takeaways are from this weekend. First, we got to start with Apple because that was one of the big headlines coming out of the report that was released ahead of the meeting on Saturday morning. Berkshire reducing its stake in Apple by about 13%. I think initially many shareholders, many on the street who were watching this were wondering whether or not his stance on Apple changed. And he was very clear in the fact that he remains extremely confident in Apple. Actually, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, was in the audience on Saturday. So that was very cool. But he remained very upbeat on Apple, saying he thinks that Apple is very, very likely, outside of something catastrophic happening, that Apple will remain its top holding within its portfolio by the end of the year. So really signaling the confidence here in Apple. Then AI, that was my other takeaway, and kind of some of the commentary, cautious commentary that we heard from Buffett on AI over the weekend. He was extremely cautious, likening it to when the development of nuclear weapons, saying that we let the genie out of the bottle with the development of nuclear weapons. AI is somewhat similar, and it's partway out of the bottle. And he talked about an experience that he had with his own image and his own voice, saying that it would actually be tough for his wife or for his kids to even realize that that was a deep fake. So just talking about some of the downside risk, which we have talked about many times here at Yahoo Finance, talking about how exactly that relates to AI. And then real quick, Paramount was also a key takeaway for me because the company, or Berkshire, no longer having a stake in Paramount, Buffett taking 100% of that quote-unquote blame for it, saying it was 100% my decision, we sold it all, and we lost quite a bit of money. Beyond that, he didn't really have much to say about Paramount, to no surprise. But again, Apple, AI, Paramount were the three big takeaways for me.
Yeah, he was kind of jumping the questions, anticipating what was going to come forward, both in interview and also from the audience, and crowdsourced questions there from the investors. And you mentioned Apple here, just to come back to that, because we're tracking shares of Apple here pre-market, and of course a lot lingering on what Buffett says about Apple continuously. And he still said that we're going to have Apple as our largest investment, as you were mentioning a moment ago. But it's interesting to also see where an investor such as Warren Buffett and the broader Berkshire Hathaway community are looking at this opportunity as a building of cash position type of opportunity too. Said that I think when people look at the alternative of what's available, the equity markets, and I look at the composition of what's going on in the world, we find the cash position and building that cash position, quite attractive right now. So that was something that was interesting to take away too.
Yeah, and further to that point, he said that I don't see anyone sitting at this table has any idea how to use it effectively, and therefore we don't use it. When he's talking about the fact that once again their cash pile is at a record high, the fact that they did take some profit here from Apple during the quarter. And then I also asked Gregory Warren over at Morningstar, who covers Berkshire, just his thoughts on the fact that they did reduce their stake within Apple. And he was saying that it actually makes sense and it doesn't hurt to take a little off the top here at this point, saying that this does not concern them at all because Apple is such a large position within their portfolio, specifically at the end of the year. So anything to lessen that exposure is good from a diversification perspective there. So again, alleviating some of those fears out there initially. Fears and maybe concerns or questions is a better way to put it about whether or not Buffett's stance on Apple has changed. But at least for now, it doesn't seem to have changed at all.